Please ask any questions you want. Like, it doesn't even have to be directed to me or Steve or anybody. Like, I want to set this up as a learning environment, okay? Like, I want to have you guys have fun and like learn and do some stuff like that. Actually, I'm going to drop something on Steve really quick. I'm going to actually have him come up and kind of give us a light demo if you're okay. Just, Steve, you can take us anywhere you want. Our goal today is kind of to talk about inventory tracking, sales, quotes, parts, different like parts department. But right now, to kind of just introduce us and kind of get us going, I'm going to have Steve just kind of jump in there and let him play, and he'll kind of just give us a little demo.
So we have quite a few play sites, and the easiest one to get to is Adilas demo, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you log in, within every 24 hours, you're going to see our little news and updates page, and you can scroll down and kind of see what's going on. Obviously, the training's on here. We have a bunch of new video clips that Brandon just posted. Those are up, and then you can just go to your homepage. If you have multiple corporations, this is the screen that you're going to see. So this is kind of not only, I'm going to give you a demo of a little sales demo on a fireworks stand that we have set up in here, but also you can see that if you have multiple corporations, you have to choose a different corporation. If your user only has one corporation set up underneath it, it will immediately just take them to their home page. So that's kind of an important tidbit, I guess, when you're logging in. So what I'd like to do is I want to go to the Black Cat Fireworks. And again, if you have multiples, you're going to have this little switch corporation here. So that's kind of one of the first things that I show prospective clients, or even when I'm doing training. So, and then usually what I do, and this is I'm kind of focusing on, how to do a demo or how to show somebody, to introduce somebody to Adilas. I usually start in the upper left-hand corner, and I talk a little bit about that's where their logo will go. The logo also will take you back to the home page. So depending on what home page that you have set, either the logo or this little home link right here, and also down here at the very bottom of the page, you have your home link down here as well. Those 3 links there will take you back to, currently I have set in here the classic home page. The next link over is the chooser. And the chooser actually selects your home page that you want to operate off of. And the ones that we have set in here right now are the interactive map, my favorites, and the classic home page. We also have quite a few other ones that are available per client. So depending on what your client's needs are, and I can set those up in there for that client. And we also create custom home pages for clients as well. So I'm just going to go back to the home page again.
So one thing about that, the cool thing is basically this interface that he's on right now is called the Classic, and it's built completely off of permissions. Like, as you turn on permissions, the whole thing dynamically kind of grows and expands. But the thing that's neat is a lot of people sometimes, once they get into a normal job, like, this is all I do, this is all I do. For instance, Danny, he was just using the CRM homepage. It had 6 teeny buttons. What are my follow-ups today? What are my logs that I did today? What's maybe another little quick link to like my scheduling application, and maybe an advanced search, like real simple. That's 6 buttons. So it just makes it really, really simple. But we can customize interfaces really easy. What I want you to think of an engine, and then you can skin it however you want, okay? But the engine exists, and it's pretty powerful. Okay, go ahead, Steve.
So we can actually go to another corp that has some other pages set up in there, but I did want to show you, though, as well, along the top here, we also have where you can log out, you can print. So every screen that has a print button, you can print the screen on it. There's also help files on each page. So there's over 1,000 pages within the system, and each page is going to have its own little help file. And what you can do, if you wish, like if I go back to the home page, I can actually hold down my control key and click on the help file, and that's going to open another tab here. So I could have the help file on one tab and be reading down, and then I could go back to the classic, and it's talking about what's happening on this page. So that's something helpful when you're training people if they're having difficulties, they can actually open the health file on another tab. And then, of course, we talked about the switch corporation. The other button that's here that's real important that I usually like to spend a little time on is the back button. We purposely, in designing this, we purposely left the ability to go backwards. We left that in place. That can be your worst nightmare or your best friend. And if you're adding a new customer, for instance, and you forget to put in some information for that customer and you hit your back button and fill that in and then add it again, you just added 2 customers. It's your best friend because you can go up here to what we call this little recent pages or super back button, and I could come all the way down to one of these other pages. Like if I want to jump to choose your interface, I can jump backwards to that. That's very helpful when you're doing a lot of accounting work or you're adding inventory in, because you can just hit your back button and add another one. You don't have to go back through the process of searching if you know that that's something brand new. That's very helpful. So if I go back to the home page again, what I wanted to show you on this one in just a short period of time, because we're focusing today on inventory and sales, I want to just kind of jump to what people do the most in here, or sales. So if this were, if we were going to do a sale, if I were logged in here, I would click on my little quick cart and I would select my location. This particular one has 3 different Kansas locations in it, and I would start the cart. This would put me in the little shopping cart here where now I could use a barcode scanner, which Brandon will be showing you how some of that works as well too. Or I could type in, say, all in this box, which would search all of the items that we have. And you can see there's a bunch of different bottle rockets and things of that nature. Once you're in this field, and this is the easiest way to add by searching, you can just type in how many items that you want and then just click add, and it'll add those to the cart. The barcode scanner, if you use the barcode, which for most of the clients, what I've noticed is a lot of times if they're selling numerous items, then they will have barcodes on them. That's the best thing to do, is to get them set up with the barcode so that they can use this like a barcode scanner of any nature. As long as the barcode scanner has USB, it will interface with the system. And then all they have to do is just scan it, and it'll automatically add it to the shopping cart. Once you have the items in there, now this is a shopping cart that doesn't have a customer attached to it. And that, I know Brandon will get into this a little bit deeper, but we do have where you can choose a customer, or you can show like the information for the customer and stuff in here. You can add a different customer if you want to track your customers. In this case here, this is just a little fireworks stand, so they're just interested in selling the fireworks and getting the money and doing the checkout. So we'll go to checkout. On the checkout page, if you have e-commerce set up, then you would click up here in this little graphic here with the Visa MasterCard, and then it would take you into where you would swipe the credit card through the system. It's going to always show what the cart total is, and the way I have it set right now is mainly for like a cash transaction. So if I just type in 10 in this field here, say they paid a $10 bill for the $9.69, and then you can either hit your enter key or you can say create invoice. And then there's your little invoice. So you have your logo on the side all the way down. Of course, like phone number and stuff, that's controlled in the background. You can add all that information in there. Here's the items that they purchased. And then here's the change that's due, 31 cents is due. You can have multiple signature lines. And then you can also have, like down here below, we have like a warning of firework warning or disclaimer, whatever you want. This section down here at the bottom is unlimited, and if you have somebody that's able to do like a little bit of HTML coding, they can actually put discount coupons and things of that nature in down there. We actually have some clients that they actually have put coupons in there so the customer can clip that coupon and bring it back in. Once you complete one transaction, you have where you can print. So this interfaces with like this little star printer here, the little 3-inch printer. And is that hooked up, Brandon?
It is. Go ahead.
So we'll give that a try.
You'll have to select print. You'll have to find the star. It's way over to the far right.
So yeah, he just doesn't have it set for the
Is the default.
as the default. So then let's see, we'll print one, and then once that prints, then you have your nice little receipt for your credit card, or if they just want a ticket for their cash receipt. You also have where you can view, this will view the actual larger edition of this. If somebody wants, you know, a full-size paper copy, you can save it as a PDF document, and then you can email it to the client as well if you wish from there. If I go back to this mini, and what I'm trying to show you is that if I was working at a fireworks stand, I would want to go ahead and serve the next person in line. So I would just click on New, and now I'm ready again to scan or, you know, add another item onto the cart. So I'll do one more just to kind of show you. So let's just say they bought 7 of these. I'll add it. And then also if I use the advanced add to cart, which if they're buying multiples or you have some kind of a special. So let's take these large sparklers here. I'm going to click on this little double plus sign. The double plus sign is the advanced add to cart. If I click on that, it takes me to a page here where I can put in the quantity. So let's say we had a special that was 10. They're normally $4.99. I'm going to say on the special, so that would be $49.99. So let's just say if they buy 10, we'll sell them for $37. And then I can click here, and you can see up at the top here, it's telling me $37 is the total price, and then it's showing exactly what we're making on each and what each individual one is. And then if I add those to the cart, I now have 10, and instead of being $4.99 a piece, because I used that little special feature there, it lowered it to $3.70. That feature there also allows customers, we have certain clients that they will sell everything tax included, and you might get somebody that will come in, say for instance you're selling chocolate, and somebody comes in and they don't have enough money to buy a whole pound of chocolate, but they have say $37, and what they could do is they could tell you or tell the customer that they have $37 and they want that to include the tax, and the system will actually back figure it and tell you exactly how much of that chocolate to weigh out for $37 and take the tax out. So that their ticket down here at the bottom, this total cart cost, would be $37 including the tax.
Can you show us how that's done?
Sure. So let's see, we'll just go back and find an item here.
And you see how he was typing in all there? If you actually know a specific item, you could easily go BOTT, like say you wanted just the bottle rockets, and then it would limit that search instead of showing 500 of them. It would only show the 5 different bottle rockets. It's very flexible that way.
Mm-hmm. Let me actually do this game. Let me go back to the cart, and let me just check this one out really quick. So we'll just say that this one paid $100. Enter, I'll just get the receipt, now I'll just start a new one. And then I'm going to actually sell some of the punk. I seen the punk sticks are in here. So I could type in just a little bit of that. Here's the punk sticks. So if I go to this special ad, so I don't know what quantity it's going to sell us of those, right? And because the punk sticks are sold individually, it's going to come back and say, hey, it's going to be this many sticks in a fraction, but we'll use this as an example because it's just a play site. If I come down here in the special total, well, first of all, let me change this to be tax included. I come down here in the special total and I'll put in $37, and then I'm going to click this second little box. It says here, unknown quantity, because I don't know what the quantity is. So if I click this, then you can see up at the top here now, it included the tax. Tax is $2.74, and the total with tax is $3. But here's how many sticks I'd have to sell. So if this was chocolate, it would think of it in like grams or ounces. It would tell me exactly what to weigh. Notice too that our system goes out to 5 decimal places of accuracy. That's very, very important when you're doing something of this nature, or if you're selling like wire and you buy it in a $500 spool, but you're going to sell it by the foot, you have to be able to divide it, you know, down into inches or whatever measurement you want to sell it in. So when I add this to the cart, Dan, that gives the $37 at the bottom there. So that's how that's one of the features of that advanced add to cart. And then again, I could put in and say, well, let's see, he only had 37, so we'll stick with 37. create the invoice, and then there's our invoice for $37. That was a really good question. That's the other thing I want to stress. You know, mainly in the class today we have quite a few people that are training or setting up accounts. So, you know, this is kind of focused towards what you guys are doing. So if you guys have any questions as well, you know, feel free to jump in, because there's a lot of times we'll show something that's just a real simple, you know, this is how you create an invoice, and the next thing you know, it can get really deep. You know, like that was just an example of just some simple items. The invoices will also handle serialized inventory and normal widget, what we call widget inventory, on the same invoice, which that was one of the driving factors to us actually creating this product, is because most systems, if you're tracking serialized inventory, they will only handle serialized inventory on an invoice, and then if you buy something from, say, the parts department, you would have to go to the parts department, and they'll have to set you up another invoice, because those two inventory types conflict with each other. But in our system, the way that we developed it is both of those inventory types are non-conflicting. I'm going to show you one more invoice and with mixed on there. And to do that, we're going to switch corporations. So if you guys are following along, we're going to go over to Aspen Air. And you can see in Aspen Air we have a different logo, we have different background colors. All of the colors and everything are controlled by the client. The logos, we actually upload the logos and size those for the client for free. So if they have a different logo come in, all you got to do is send it to Brandon, and he turns that around usually in a couple days. One thing I do want to do is I want to go to the chooser on this page just to see if we have some other custom pages in here, and we do. We have, here's a CRM page just to kind of show you a different view. So if I set this as my home page, every time I log in, this would be the view I would have. And this is the one that Dan was talking about that he uses a lot for tracking his customers and things like that. However, I'm going to go back to the home page, because what I want to do is I want to actually sell an aircraft. And to find my aircraft over here, I'm going to come down to stock units and inventory. So now I'm kind of getting into where this isn't widget inventory. These are actually items. And over here I have some military aircraft. And I'm just going to randomly pick one of these. So we'll sell one of these Hawker Hurricanes. This is the stock number for it. And I'm kind of getting a little past the scope of this. As I said, this gets deep kind of fast, but this is a Hawker Hurricane. Here's all the photos of it, just so you can see. Anyway, to invoice this, so this sells for $188,000. I would go to invoice quote. And I would choose a location. Let's just say it's at the Aspen Airport. And I would begin the sales process. Over here on the left, I have a little 8 steps that will take you through the sales process. So this is a lot more difficult, or actually it's a lot more in depth than just selling some fireworks. So you have these little steps over here that will keep putting the little X's down so you can tell where you are in the process. We're going to be doing a client invoice because we're going to be assigning it to someone from the Aspen Airport. I could change the sales price here, so let's just say we sold it for $175,900. Dealer handling, let's just say we're going to charge $500. And shipping, say Dan's going to fly this thing because Dan's a pilot. He's going to fly it to wherever for $1,500. And then I happen to be, I'll have David sell it. And if you want, you can put another salesperson. One thing the system does on serialized inventory for car dealers and motorcycle, boat, aircraft, whatever, is it'll be tracking the commissions in the background. So you could actually split commissions between salespeople if you wish. I could also put some notes in here, and then I'll go continue. So now you can see I'm on step number 2, which is the customer. Let's sell this to a bank. So this PlaySite here actually has a whole bunch of, there's thousands of real aircraft owners that are in here. We got this from the Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association, this list, and we could pick one of these banks. How about, Dan, maybe you want to go to, let's see, we'll find someplace here. How about in San Francisco, Bank of the West? So over here, I'm going to assign this customer to the invoice. And then temporary tags, if those are required, they're optional fields, so we could skip that. Here's our business, Bank of the West, all their address. It does require a 1 of 3 phone numbers, so we've got that. It does require a county. Maybe it doesn't. We'll see. It'll tell us if it does. So we're going to continue. And then it will allow you to do a trade-in. So if they had another aircraft, I could click on here and put in the aircraft that's actual trade-in, or a car if we're selling cars. And it's nice to know, too, that once you stock the trade-in that trade-in, because our system interfaces with the Internet. So if the car dealer has all of their inventory on the Internet, once you stock a trade-in in here, or once a salesperson stocks it in, it immediately shows up on the Internet as well, too. So it's real time on the Internet. So here's where you would stock in the trade-in if you had one down here at the bottom. I'm just going to continue because this bank doesn't have a trade-in. Here is where it's calculating the taxes and things like that that are applicable. And you can also put in other taxes. These other fees and taxes can be set up in the back. So if you have certain fees and stuff that are applicable from your area, you can set all these up. There's 5 different fields that you can set up. But I'm just going to go ahead and continue. You can also set up to where if the company sells warranties or different types of insurances, you can preset those in there so that the salesperson is reminded to say, hey, did you want warranty with that, or did you want insurance? And we'll just jump past that. So now here's my shopping cart. And now I'm kind of getting to where I was going to show you. So here's our Hawker Hurricane for our $175.9. Here's our dealer handling fee and our shipping. And then we're going to need some gas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my favorites, because I play around in this one a lot. I have favorites in here. Now, we're going to put jet fuel in this because it's jet. So if I click on that, let's just say that they fueled up and it took 1,734.89 gallons. And
Yeah, top box. Okay.
yeah, this one has, so there's different setups on the advanced ad. You can preset this to be pre-checked, where this button will show up, or you can have your salespeople click on this, and there's reasons for that. I think that's a little past the scope of this demonstration. But anyway, so here's our jet fuel that we have, and then here's our total, here's our taxes. It's interesting to know that you can see, like on this airplane, we had it set to be taxable. The dealer handling fee is non-taxable. The freight was non-taxable, but then our fuel that we put in was taxable. And if we had any other items, we could add those on as well. We can also put in non-printing notes. That might be instructions that Dan needs to know how to get to where he's going, or we could actually have the system interface with Google Maps to show him where to go. And then you also have your printable notes down here where you can put in some printable notes. So we can put in thanks, whatever that you like, and then we're going to go check out. And then again, we have the cart total here. Again, if they had a credit card, we could go to the credit card page and we could say they put $50,000 down on a credit card. We could put that in there as one of the payments. Or we could come down here, I'll just say they paid $50,000 cash, and then I'll say we also took a check here for, let's see, I'll just say $120,000 check. So this is going to leave us with a payable. And then this one is set to where it doesn't automatically create the invoice. It allows you to look the invoice over one more time. So we can see down here they still owe $22,913, and then we can create the invoice. This one is set to where it'll jump right away to the paperwork. So the invoice has been created. Here's the sales invoice number 82. This is a good example of other type paperwork that we can put in the system through PDF documents. So say, for instance, I wanted to do the application for title, just to see, I mean, some of this is relevant to car dealers, but it'll show you, that it's creating a document. And let's see, what would I do here, Brandon? Do I just
Go ahead and hit save? Yep.
Save? And most people will have their computer set to where it will just automatically open this document. So this one just took it to where Brandon had it to save. once the document populates, and obviously this is the Colorado Department of Revenue document, so we can take any PDF document that any of your customers have, and we can archive it in the system anywhere within the system. So if you have, say for instance, you have a customer that when they sign up a customer of theirs, they have some type of a document or some type of a contractual agreement with them, then you can actually have that contract set in here to where it will populate. This one is populating against what was sold for that. So you can see the aircraft and everything's in here. And then let's see, where's your...
Close that. That's actually, just close
Oh,
that.
okay, so he's got just another little window that opens. So then I'm back. So these other documents are the same thing. They're just other PDF documents. Like normal car dealerships have 7 or 8 documents that we would usually put in the system. So that's a big selling feature for car dealers as well. They don't have to go buy all these documents. The system just generates them, and then they use just plain white paper to print them out. If I go back to the invoice, again, you can see the invoice, and you also have like a printer friendly of the invoice if you want to fold it up and mail it to them. This amount down here, this total owed, to show you where that ends up, if I go back to the home page here and I come under System Assets to our Receivables home page, we'll see that the Bank of the West, here was their sale amount for 192. They paid 170. They now owe the 22,913.71, and then you could go over here and apply payments to that. And that's the process for selling an item mixed with, we put gas on there. If you wanted to get back to the invoice, you could click on here, and then this will take you right back to, you can see it's invoice number 82 here, and you can go back to the printable or whatever that you want on that. So